Hey, welcome back to the Signature Movement. It's your girl Tanya D. Floyd out here in these streets. I'm irritated because it's raining. The boy missed the bus again. I don't know if he's trying to get Wendy's breakfast or whatever, but past a certain time they're not gonna give him breakfast at school, so I just make sure he gets something. But anyway, that's not why I'm irritated. I'm irritated because you ever been in traffic or just driving, minding your business, and then you pull up behind somebody in the left turn lane, right? All the traffic coming is clear. They don't turn. The light is green, but they don't turn. They waiting for an arrow. But green means go, right? Why would you not turn on green? Because it means go. But they waiting for an arrow. You talking about somebody to be fired up, just pissed, angry? Just don't even need to be this angry, but just very angry. Because why? Why we gotta deal with the foolishness? I'm thinking those people don't have driver's licenses. It's just, you just cannot. And then there's another type of person who, there's a clear rule, you just will not make the right turn on red, just won't. The light red, you can go if you're turning right, unless there's a sign, or there's a little arrow that's red and say don't turn right now. Right turn on red, green means go. I don't understand. But I really don't understand why I get so mad when they do it. Just like, nobody should be this mad at other people. It's just things that happen in life, right? But that ain't what I really want to talk about. It just happened on my way to the point that I was trying to make. So, I was talking to this guy last night, my new homie, my new work buddy. He and I were talking about men and women in relationships, and in particular, we were talking about women, and I'm going to say older women, but mature women with children who are now single but would like to be married at some point, right? We have a lot in common with our views, but he's a little militant on a couple of points. And one of those points is that if you're a woman of a certain age, you should not even be expecting to be chosen, pretty much, if you got kids, because don't nobody want to take care of a woman's kids. It's like they don't say it, but they don't. And then he was saying basically, if you in that category, then you pretty much past your sexual prime. So, what would the man desire from you? Because at this point, you got too much mouth. You got probably too much money or whatever. You've been independent so long. You've been doing this, that, and the other for yourself. You're just not really going to calm down enough for a man to choose you and want to marry you. But he'll tamper with you indefinitely. And I get that. And I also agree with that to a certain extent. I don't believe that all black women, we're talking about black women, all black women have those issues. Even if she's successful on her own and independent and got kids and this and that and the other, I don't think we all have what men would consider too much mouth. But I do understand how men could consider it too much mouth. You know what I'm saying? If that makes any sense. It's like they don't say it. They don't advertise it on the brochure. But the men that I have encountered tend to want a woman who know how to be quiet and listen and just take care of them. They want that. When I say they, please understand that I mean the section of the population of men that I have encountered in my years. The ones I'm related to, the ones I have listened to, the ones I have dated, the ones I have talked to, the one I married. I got a population all my own that I use for research purposes, okay? So I ain't talking about men in general. I ain't talking about black men in general. I ain't talking about men all over the world. I'm talking about the ones that I know, okay? So, that's a nice healthy sample of the population. They all got things in common, but they're all different in ways too. So, don't act like I'm generalizing anytime I say anything. It's because of what I've observed that I'm speaking. Okay? So anyway, the men that I've observed tend to, I've noticed the pattern. So when they're younger, and I mean younger, like early 20s, okay, they start out with these hopes and aspirations and dreams and things like, when he finds somebody, it's going to be because he loves her. He's going to want to do things for her, to take care of her to a degree, because you young, you can't really take care of nobody, but he's going to want to make her feel secure and safe and loved and all that kind of stuff, right? Hold time. Okay, so then when they're in their 30s, and things change a little bit when men enter their 30s, whether they're still, young and single, or whether they're slightly seasoned and married. They look at things a little differently. They've probably been in a couple of good relationships by that time, or maybe one really, really good one that, did a number on them. Okay, so at some point in their 30s, they realize that they can have a relationship with one woman or many women, and they can remain unattached at the same time. Even if they have kids, they don't have to be attached. The kids usually with their mother. Even if they got a great co-parenting relationship, and the schedule that's like every weekend or every specific day of the week, they got kids. The rest of the time, they ain't got no obligations to nobody. Then, like, it's in that 30-something range where women have their own realizations. Now, they tend to come into their, I know what I want, and I know what I definitely don't want type phase. I don't like this. I'm not dealing with that anymore, and I'm going to be vocal about the fact that I don't like that. I'm not going to let you treat me like that. But the guys are like, oh, okay, I'm going to ease off her for a minute, rotate over here. And they go through this, the men now, they go through this whole thing where, they now have enough information and enough experience to know that there are wonderful things that the female can provide. And they want to sample all of them. It's like, foodies. You learn about different cuisines and things that make you feel a certain kind of way when you eat them and everything. And you go, oh, food is a wonderful thing. Let me explore this all over the world. I would like to try all of these things in all these places. And you start planning your itinerary and traveling and learning new things and doing new things. Men do that with women. They start planning their itinerary and going around finding all the things they can sample. Because, whoa, this stuff is amazing, right? But they don't want that attitude. They don't want to talk. They don't want to have them whole heart-to-heart type. They busy exploring the world, okay, in their 30s. And then as they get older, they may start to feel a little teeny pull of, I don't really have that comfort that I think I should have. Biologically, genetically, at some point, the body is going to say, I'm tired of being alone. I'm tired of being uncertain. Even if I'm not alone on any day of the week, I'm alone because I don't have a bond with anybody special who I know I could trust and depend on and work with. Even if they get to a point where they want a good, steady, stable relationship with one particular woman who's going to provide all these things, and later in their age, they start to feel like, I'm going to hold on to her, but I can't let go of this other stuff too, so I'm going to do both. And if you got an honest man, he'll tell you, I want both. And you can either deal with it or don't, but I want both. But I love you, babe. I want to keep you. And then, that's when the women get into that whole, oh my God, I'm just waiting on him to propose. We in a nice rhythm, but he won't move forward. But see, as women, when we get into our 40s and beyond, we start to have what I call these windows of enlightenment open. I swear, when I turned 40, the world just looked different. And everything was about how I wanted to feel versus how I currently felt. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I don't want this. I was really clear on what I did not want in this life. And I was really clear on what I did not want to feel ever again in this life. So I avoided those things, and I was vocal about letting people know, no, we're not doing that. I'm not the one. And they started calling me combative. And the word that got tossed around a lot with guys guys around me, let's call them that. They wanted to tame me. Tame, tame. I wrote a poem about it. Don't like it at all. Don't like the word. I'm not dealing with the word. You can't tame me. First of all, you ain't man enough to tame me. And second of all, that's not a disparagement on your manhood in general or your personality or any of that. It's just a fact that you don't have what it takes to make me humble or to make me follow you. Which brings me to the second point of our conversation last night. I said, for a woman like myself, who is one of those in the category, like he was pretty much trying to say, but he wouldn't come out and say he was talking about women like me, who talk too much, don't listen enough, and, can't get married because they won't just humble themselves and just do the work. Take care of the man, cook and clean. What's wrong with cooking and cleaning, this and that and other? I got issues with that whole thing, but hold tight. So, he wouldn't say that about me, but for a woman like myself, I would like to be able to feel comfortable following you. Can I follow you and can I trust you? A whole lot of stuff gonna look different with me and you if I can follow you and if I can trust you. Okay? Period. So that brings me to the piece about, me and whether I want to be married or not. And he was like, I didn't think you wanted to be married. I'm like, I absolutely do. I would do it again. I think I'm worthy. I think I'm capable. I think, it was premature the way we broke up and everything. I wasn't supposed to be divorced and on my own again. Nah, I ain't that girl. I'm better than that. But priorities change, people change, choices. Every day we make them. 86,400 seconds in each and every day. How much of those would you say you've used wisely? It's the beginning of another poem I wrote. But opportunities all day long for you to change your mind, change your ways, change many things, change the whole trajectory of your relationship. 86,400 seconds in each and every day. Ain't no surprises when people do stuff different. It's fine. But I want to be married. And yes, I can see myself submitting to a man I can trust and follow. You can't just come up in here and be like, I'm the man. So why you ain't ready to cook and clean? I have a problem with the whole theory that the gender roles are already assigned, and no matter where we've been through our whole lives, I'm 51. I've been through a lot. I've carried a lot. I've done a lot. A lot was assigned to me that I did not choose. Therefore, when you come into my space, you need to respect and appreciate that I'm not coming from my parents' house where I was catered to and cared for and provided for. And I'm not 22 years old. I'm a whole grown woman. I made t-shirts with the saying, once a woman has had to man up, it's hard going back because it's almost impossible. But it's not impossible. It's impossible when you got fools out here approaching you like you the woman. Why you don't act like the woman? Dude, I've been out here fighting for my life for the last 17, 18 years. Please. Don't come in here talking like you owed something. You didn't put in on this. You haven't invested anything in this at all. So yes, you're going to have to give me some space and some time to come to the fact that you might be the one and I can submit to that. But I'm not just, hold up. You come at me like I'm the man, I'm going to come at you like I'm about to square up with you or something, because this going to be a fight. You ain't taking over nothing here. I ain't even invite you in here. Go somewhere. But for some reason, all the men my age have the whole belief that it should just, because they finally ready to settle down, and I'm going to say they all used up and tired and old looking and, been through hell with some relationship that dragged you to hell and back. You got this real bitter way of looking at women because that one last one, she really did a number on you and she won't let you see your kid, the kid teenager or grown-er, but she done poisoned your kids against you and all these bad things happen in your life. But you can take your pile of crap and bring it to my space and be like, well, because of this pile of crap right here, I feel like I'm ready for X, Y, and Z. I don't have to accept that though. I don't want that. I got my own crap. If you come here, you got to come here offering me some refreshment. Refresh me. I don't think that's asking too much, but they always look at me funny like, what? Why is that a foreign concept? You've been through hell, I've been through hell. Why do I need to make sure you okay when you come into my space, but you don't have to make sure I'm okay when you come into my space? Because I look good doing what I've been doing, you think I got it? And it's just supposed to be, I'm going to keep carrying it? I saw something on Facebook the other day I had to repost. But it was basically like, men look at you like, my mama was a single mom and she raised these kids by herself and she worked this many jobs and did da. And my grandma, blah, 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 blah. But the lady was like, hold it. I think we need to take notice of the fact that struggle was not something she chose, but she was assigned. She did not volunteer for that. And therefore, why would you take that as an example and try to give it to me? Like I got to carry that kind of burden too. That was trauma that was inflicted on that woman. She was a victim. That's not how it's supposed to be. So we got to take all of this the way the world is, as is. And we got to navigate through that. But we don't have to keep carrying those loads like that. Bring me some refreshment or get on out of here. No. And it ain't about a gender role when it comes to that for me. Because by the same token, when you approach me, if you approach me properly, I'm going to understand and respect the fact that you need refreshment too. So I'm not going to be my regular old hard ass self. If you come at me properly, I'm going to be like receptive and I'm going to be like willing to ease your burdens just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to feel compassion toward you, first of all. And I'm going to feel like I can do nice things for you because you'll see me and you'll appreciate it. You'll receive it properly. And that will maybe make you feel more inclined to do the same. I'm not signing up for any position where I have to soften up, be refreshment, be compassionate, give, and give to somebody who just feels like it's time for me to get some stuff. You understand? No, that's an entitlement. Ain't nobody doing nothing for me, player. You can't be entitled over here. You can be encouraged, but you cannot be entitled. You can be encouraged to do wonderful things for me because of the wonderful things that you see that I can do for you and that I might have done or that I will do. But you cannot come here with this expectation that things are going to go a certain way because I'm a woman and because I got experience in certain areas and because, well, why wouldn't you? No. So anyway, we talked about relationships and gender roles and that whole thing. And I hit a couple of, toes when I was talking to him because he said something about that happy wife crap. We talked about this at least twice on here, but the happy wife, happy life stuff, he's opposed. He don't like it. And I get it because people misapply it most of the time. But let's go over this one more time. In my estimation, the term happy wife, happy life is not intended for women to behave indecently and, demand things and brat out and have attitudes and withhold and, leverage their men and manipulate them and all those things. It's not about her getting everything she wants her way and that's it. And him giving, trying to accommodate her. No. Happy wife, happy life comes from, in my estimation, it works best when you look at it from a perspective of a man who chose this woman. When the man gets to the point where he wants to settle down and have that woman come in and make his life, you know, let me just, I'm trying to be politically correct, but it's just no easy way to say what it is. It is, he wants her to come in there and make his life right. He wants a woman who's going to come in and have his back, his front, take care of his needs, all of them. Talk to him, listen to him, all these things. You don't just get a woman who not going to do nothing after you've been through all the crap. You come in later in life, you want a woman who bought her game. She got all her stuff lined up. She got enough room for you and whatever it is you need her to do. So he's in this place. He want her to take care of his house. He want her to take care of all his needs, remind him of stuff, maybe pay a couple of bills. I don't know what their relationship determines, what it is. But whatever he need her for, he chose her. He wanted her. She's the one. It's like hiring her for the position of the executive assistant. Whatever she say, that's what we doing. I chose her. She in charge of these things. So therefore, with that mentality, happy wife, happy life is about, I put this woman here to make my life easier. I'm supposed to have peace, joy, food, clothes, clean socks, clean drawers, new t-shirts, whatever it is I need done. She got that. My life is good because of her at this point. I chose this. If she ain't happy, I can't be at peace. What is going on? Who did what? That's how you got this dude out here ready to fight for his wife. What you say to her? Not her. That's my wife. You don't talk to her like that. Happy wife, happy life is about his peace is disturbed when her peace is disturbed. He feels that. He don't like that. He gonna make it right. Because if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. That's what that means. It's not her pulling strings to make things happen. It's about him knowing that if his life is going to be the way he want it, she got to be in it and she got to be taken care of. If she everything fall apart, he don't want that. Happy wife, happy life. Stop that crap. Acting like you just got to get everything you want and he over here miserable because he don't want to give you none of it. It's not how that go. He chooses. Period. Try to be in a relationship with a man who don't want you. You ain't going nowhere fast. He got to choose you or it ain't going to work, period. That's how I see it. Anyway, we also talked about, men in their phases. And he was under the impression that men at any age feel like they want to settle down and get married and things. I'm like, when do men ever feel like that? Not until they old and used up, really. I mean, without just having a certain presence that just inspires him. Without that one woman that comes in with that certain energy at that certain time to make him go, oh, I want that. I like that. That's new. I'm trying to go that way. If he don't see that, he don't just come to the realization one day on his own that I'm going to settle down. I'm going to get married. Because there's so many choices out here. How do you choose? You got to be motivated by the feeling of the thing with the one woman when she come. I don't think they just sit down and plan it out like women do. I don't think that at all. I think they have to be inspired by it when it comes. Or they'll just keep drifting along. They don't consider it alone. Because they got options. I ain't never met a man who ain't had options, okay? I don't care how old he is. Somebody want him. Women, I don't know what this is, why it is, but I don't care how old that man is. Somebody want him somewhere. Maybe she's looking at it from a, illusion of security perspective. She ain't got to like him, love him, or want to have sex with him or none of that, but she going to want him if he got some money. She going to want him if he got a nice house. She going to want him if he going to buy her a car. It's different things. Women just, sometimes, I swear. But yeah, I've never met the man who did not have options with an S. They like to tell me all the time, you can get anything you want before I could. And that's probably true because, me. I'm so magnetic and my personality is so vibrant. My energy is undeniable. However, I could probably get it before him, yeah, because if I call up 5 dudes and say I'm giving it away, at least 3 of them gonna make the time to come get it. That's how they are. But it ain't because I have so many things somebody want to keep me. A man will get married every day of the week before I could because he's a man and he has things that she might want. There's so many kinds of women out here. He always gonna have a choice. I'm not. Again, the man already told me I talk too much. I'm combative. I need to be tamed. And even the guys that I've known forever who talk to me right now, they keep talking to me like, why don't you just calm down? When you gonna act right? Or the ones who got married before, they'll be like, well, you had your chance, but you just wouldn't act right. Bye, boy. Don't nobody care. Marry her. She can have babies and all that. I don't want no more. I'm good. I don't want none of that. I didn't even want you. Goodbye. But they like with confidence. You didn't act right, so please. I'm a little different than the average woman. I'm not looking for, never mind. We're not going to go into that. But ain't no great loss on my part. Please believe. I'm good. Thanks. I don't want it. So if, the consensus out here amongst men, younger, older, my age, whatever, if the consensus is that I'm going to have too much to say so he don't want me, I'm good with that. Because I don't want to live in a relationship where you feel like anytime I say something, it's offensive because I said something, or because I have a strong opinion about something, or because I understand fully that I'm not doing that. If you feel like that's a problem, I don't want you. We good. I don't consider it a loss at all. What is wrong with these men talking about we talk too much? I can see some relationships. I've seen them over the years where the woman just berates the man and she constantly talking, nagging, yak, 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 yak. And he like, oh my God, here she go. I can see that. But what we talking about here is somebody who's like, reason and ration tell me ABC, and I've observed this, that, and the other, and I think blah, blah, blah. I'm going to say my piece, and I expect that you would respect that I can say that. But I'm not going to beat you down with my truth. I want an exchange. If you have something to say it too. But I don't feel like, you should just count me out because I got something to say. That's not the kind of man I want anyway. It's not a loss at all. Holla. If I never find another one before I take my last breath, oh well. I'm all right. I would like to be married. But I'm all right. Oh, the other piece of what we were talking about last night was he said that women should seek to be with guys who are pursuing their passion or their dream or whatever. And I beg to differ. I said I think men who are pursuing their passion often will entertain a woman or women. But if he's chasing that thing, he ain't got time for her like that. He already got his girlfriend. He already got his passion, his purpose, what's driving him through this life every day. He ain't got time to be looking over here trying to start no new relationships. You know how hard relationships are? Please. He gonna have time for her and go play with her, go to dinner, whatever they do. He'll have time for that, but all right, I gotta go. I'm gonna call you back. Because he's on his thing. He ain't starting no new relationships and he ain't marrying nobody doing all that, unless he might meet her in the course of doing all that and they got that in common and then they can chase it together. He might then, but no, you don't stand a chance, girl, please. And I ain't even talking about sports. I'm talking about other stuff. Sports, you can forget it. You don't understand why he got to practice that much and why he got to watch that much and why he got to know all this and why he got to play that game. You don't understand. You going to complain too much. He ain't marrying you. That's a whole nother bag. But over here with this other stuff, he chasing his professional passions and things. He ain't got time to be marrying nobody. He can't focus on that. His priority is clear. He told you. You saw him. You see him every day when he doing it. Why would you even consider that he would change his mind or his path to do that. You ain't that important. Go somewhere. He was like, well, you should want somebody who's doing X, Y, and Z. So, sir, I told you, he's not really going to divert his attention from that to be looking over here to start no relationships. It's not even no, it's not going to happen. So what should women be looking for? Nothing. Don't look. Just live your life. Have some business. Have some plans. Be attractive by going along on your way, walking your path, doing your thing, enjoying what you do, enjoying the things that you love out of life. If you unhappy alone, that is perfectly fine. But you should not look like you unhappy and alone. You should be out doing things you like. Chase those endorphins. You know how people work out all the time? It ain't just because they want to work out all the time. Some of it's because they want to build a certain thing and they got a plan and they, perfectionists when it comes to the muscle thing. But most of them, they got the endorphins that come from working out. The happy thoughts and feelings come from the working out. Certain things you eat, certain things you do, they release that chemical in your brain. It's biological. So chase those endorphins. Whatever makes you feel good, whatever makes you feel happy and think good, positive thoughts, do that. Do it all the time. Keep doing it. Make it a pattern. Everyday occurrence. And then you'll be so attractive to somebody who's drawn to you, and you can explore that. But don't be looking for nothing. You reek of desperation then. You stink of need. Ain't nothing wrong with you needing stuff, but you don't want to smell like just needy. You don't want to look like just needy. It's a thin line, I know. It's this and that at the same time. But girl, don't you go out here looking for nobody. Don't. No. You give off the wrong impression when you go out looking for a man. Let him find you and come get you. Now, I ain't saying if you're in the proximity and you feel like he right there, you might walk past him a little closer, do something to make him notice you, but don't go chasing nobody. It's tough out here. It is. Single mama saga. I ain't want to write the book. I didn't want to live that. I ain't want to walk that walk. Here I am. I'm supposed to be somewhere on the beach right now, drinking Mai Tais with my man that I was with for 30-something years. That was my plan. Didn't happen that way. I'm not going to the beach to drink the Mai Tais alone either. I know y'all do. That ain't me. I ain't doing it. I don't want to. I ain't going to Miami Beach to be amongst the millions of people and see all the wonderful things and none of that. No, I don't want to. It's not my thing. It's a lot of things people out here want to do a lot of that I ain't really interested in at all. I don't want to know what it look like in Miami Beach. I don't want to know how I feel. I don't want to know how I smell. I don't want to see nobody. Nope. I like to be somewhere in an Airbnb, in an isolated private beach that came with the beach house that I want to stay in with the lovely modern decor and stuff. That's what I want. I don't want no more hotel visits. No, it's not a good vacation for me. They all smell like, that damp carpet smell when you first come in the room. You turn on the AC or the heat because it's stale. It's just been sitting there. Wasn't nobody in the room. I don't want that. I want a nice sea breeze. I want some air freshener, some candles or something that was sitting in the house for me to, you know what I'm saying? It's a whole different experience. Yeah. I don't want to do any of these things the way they've been done traditionally. No. We talked a lot about tradition too, but I'm not going to get into that here. I'm going to just leave that for another day. But a lot of traditions that we have picked up and taken with us over the years are much like dogma. We carrying it because that's how everybody else did it. Not necessarily how we want to do it or that we agree with it. It's just patterns that we continue. Some patterns, some traditions, we must continue for the preservation of our line. But some, we should just leave right there. Don't ever do that again. So, we just need to be adult about examining our lives and determining what we do and what we don't want, what we do and what we don't like, what we will and what we won't tolerate. We old enough. Let's make some lists. I don't care if you got to write the list or imagine the list. Make some lists. See what you want in your life and go that way. You will attract what's supposed to go with you because they going that way too. Stop trying to intersect with people and knock them on a collision course. You know what I'm saying? Don't bump into them and all y'all, everything just changed. That's not how it's supposed to go. Be in harmony. Move together. Oh, and the one very, very important thing, this is the last point I'm going to make. The one very important piece I wanted him to get from that conversation last night is people just enter these relationships all willy-nilly. What are your qualifications to be in this relationship? I don't mean what do you bring financially or sexually or any of that. I mean, what are your qualifications? Are you skilled in this area? Do you understand, emotional intelligence? Do you have a good communication system when you're in a emotional relationship with somebody? So I would suggest that we go to training. I got a real estate license. I had to go to 60 hours of training to get that. And every year I got to do it. I got to do it now. Re-up. I got to go to continuing professional education to keep my license. When I got a driver's license, I had to do some training and some road tests and things. I had to drive. I had to use that knowledge that I had learned. But I had to practice, take a test, study, and all that. What qualifications do you have for being in a relationship with another adult person who's have their own traumas and bag of crap following behind them? You ain't ready for this unless you go do some training first. So I suggest everybody want to get into a relationship when you think that's the one, y'all go to some counseling together and apart. And he was like, well, women need to go to a male counselor so they can know, men can explain to them, blah, blah, blah. I was like, he's not going to be able to understand her point of view, where she coming from or why she doing the things she doing, or, how to get her on the correct course, because he just going to be telling her. It's going to sound like mansplaining when he says, this is what you need to do for your man. She might listen to some of it, but most of it, she going to be like, you don't even understand where I'm at, do you? So I recommend that if you're going to go to counseling, go to a couple. Both of y'all go talk to two people, a man and a woman, to figure out how to make the thing work. Just a suggestion. Because if you go to a woman, the man going to feel like she on your team. If you go to a man, you going to feel like he on his team. They got a lot in common. But everybody don't understand where everybody else is coming from, so just take your couples to a couples therapy where there's a couple doing the therapy. But yeah, that's what we talked about. What do you think? Leave me some messages in these comments. I'm curious to think. This brings me back to my podcasting days. I'm going to call my cousin. Oh, my cousin. He's a little special. We've been planning this for a while, but we haven't done it yet. But we got to talk. Y'all going to... You either going to love him or hate him, but I love him and our conversations. We got to broadcast some of our conversations for the people because, child, we be talking about some stuff. But, y'all gonna want him because he handsome, but you're gonna be mad at him because of some of the things he gotta say. He's not shy about anything he feels, believes, wants, needs, or any of that. He's not. And the women just keep getting mad because they're like, why won't you just, it's like the men with me. Why won't you just act right? Why won't you just, I hate those words. But anyway, have a great day.